Doctor Who, Harvest of Time by Alastair Reynolds. Read by Geoffrey Beevers. Prologue. The worst machine in the universe was a marble grey box no larger than a coffin or shipping trunk. Its base was wider and longer than its lid, so that the sides had a slight cant to them. 3 of the sides were blank, save for that marbling. The 4th, one of the 2 ends, had an angled console jutting out from it. The console's upper surface was set with a square matrix of white controls, each of which had been embossed with a precise black symbol in an alien alphabet. There were 169 controls, 169 different symbols, and the Red Queen's people understood about 75 of them. The rest had eluded their best scientists for centuries. The Red Queen regarded the machine as possessing a quality of intrinsic malevolence. If anything could be said to be evil, it was this device. Yet she could not afford to ignore its transformative power. Of all the potent technologies recovered from the Consolidator, the ghost ship that had fallen into orbit around her adopted world, this was by far the most important and seductive. The machine was called the Infinite Cocoon. It was fitting. "The volunteers are ready, ma'am." The Red Queen, her full title was Her Imperial Majesty Akshari Squeeter, nodded at the aide who had scuttled up to her throne to deliver this information. Like all Praxilians, like all the native creatures of this world she ruled, the aide was a furry caterpillar, a pipe cleaner bent into an upright L. Its canine head reached the level of her knees when she was on the throne. The little Praxilians had many limbs, differentiated for function, and red and white longitudinally striped fur that made her think of toothpaste and seaside amusements. They smelled like sweet shops and perfume counters. "Remind them again that they don't have to do this." "They know that, ma'am." "Nonetheless, tell them again. Let there be no doubt." Without asking for assistance, the Red Queen pushed herself to her feet. She reached for the sceptre she kept clipped to the chair's side, using it as a walking stick as she made her hobbling way down the set of stone stairs at the throne's base. Praxilian aides skittered around her anxiously, ready to catch her should she fall. "I'll be all right," she muttered. "Allow me a moment on my own, and then bring the volunteers in." The evening air was cool on her private balcony. She waited until the door was shut behind her, and then made her way to the balustrade, sceptre clicking on the hard stone flooring. Her right hand gripped the gold-crusted sphere screwed into the top of the sceptre. She rested the other on the balcony's rail. It was a long way down, but she had always had a head for heights. She thought of the sea roiling far below on a similar evening, but there was no sea visible from the Imperial Palace. They were too far inland for that. Praxilian was a beautiful world, especially at twilight. Gently rolling hills, purple in the gathering gloom, ferried her eye to the pink-hazed horizon. Here and there, like clumps of pale frog spawn, were Praxilian villages and hamlets. She had grown accustomed to their alien architecture over the years, with its blobby preponderance of domes and small igloo-like dwellings. It almost looked homely. They had been good to her, the Praxilians. There. Her eye caught the rising spark of the Consolidator climbing from the west. It was difficult to miss, being the only large thing in orbit. A ship as large...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?